Good evening. We bring you the latest in the world of sports. I'm Paulo Del Rosario.
And we bring you the conversations you want to hear from your favorite icons and athletes. I'm Billy Capistrano. In tonight's Game Plan, we'll meet 4 of our newest correspondents who will be manning the sidelines for UAAP Season 84.
Then we'll catch up with LA Tenorio after Barangay Ginebra's big comeback win in Game 1 of the PBA Governor's Cup semifinals. And we'll break down the current situation in the very tight NBA Western Conference playoff race. Buckle up, sports fans. Let's get in the game. We are 2 days away from the return of the UAAP, so it is time for us to meet the newest set of correspondents who will be giving us the latest from the sidelines. It's a packed house here today. Tonight, we have Bel Gregorio for NU, Gab Reyes for UE, Julia Vargas from Ateneo, and Martina Lau for LaSalle. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. First of all, congratulations that you're all here. We're very excited for what you all can bring, and I guess congratulations to Billy for picking out and helping train all of these guys. So I want to start off first with Gab because syempre, you're not only reporting for a school you're not from. It's going to be a challenge that way. Pero syempre, it's going to be a different situation now, knowing that you're not actually allowed to be with the teams itself. So how has that challenge been, and how has your experience in the past as a former athlete in the UAAP juniors level, if I'm not mistaken, how has that helped you out as well?
Yeah, so obviously the situation is different now with the pandemic. All teams are in a training bubble and no one in, no one out. And it's been a struggle because, well, I'm not able to see them practice, so I don't really know how their chemistry is, and I don't know the inside scoop of the team. But I've been able to contact Coach Jack and my friend Clintus Camis, and also Mix Pascual. So yeah, being a former player, I know the terms that they use, and I know that it's helped me a lot with what they want to say and what they want to do for this season, especially with writing reports for this coming Saturday's game.
Absolutely. And guys, you better watch out for Gam. He is super talented and we cannot wait to see all his report. No pressure lang naman, but we can't wait, of course, to see you guys on air. And now we'll go to Martina. I understand that you are a former volleyball player and a former cheerleader. So what got you into sports?
I really just started sports because of my mom. Growing up, I told this to Gab. Growing up, my mom always wanted me to be active. So I actually started with dancing, figure skating, tennis, all of that. But then I did so many sports. But then I think the ones that really stuck to me were that volleyball, cheerleading, and I'm just venturing into other sports now, like tennis. So I think ever since then, I just really like doing sports. So.
Actually, fun fact, Pao, Martina used to be a national team, right? For figure skating.
When I was really young.
Yeah. No, that's still more national team appearances than any of us else have here.
Siyempre naman.
Yeah, ganun talaga. Bel, this experience for you obviously has it's going to be different. It's going to be unique as for everyone here. Can you tell us a bit about yung preparations you're going into all of this so far, and really what made it feel? What was the first moment you realized that, hey, I'm part of this program, I'm part of everything happening?
I think the first time that it really sunk into me was when I had to contact the team. And that was very difficult because I'm not part of NU, I'm from Ateneo. So it was a challenge for me and trying to make connections with the team, form connections. But then they were really, really accommodating. They treated me like family right away. So when I prepared, I made sure I contacted the coaches. I scheduled Zoom calls with the coaches, with the players, and they were really, really friendly, really, really accommodating. And they've really been guiding me every step of the way as I'm preparing for the upcoming season.
Yeah, and Bel used to tell us that the people from NU are so friendly to her. Ang dami niyang nakuwang information about the NU team. Yeah. That's why we also can't wait to see and hear all her reports. And let's move on to Julia. It's very interesting, Julia, because you're a theater major.
Yes,
and you love to act. You're an actress. Now, how are you tying your role as a a correspondent now,
Yeah.
correspondent to being, a theater student?
Well, in theater kasi, it's all about telling a story. When you're on stage, you tell a story, or when you're off stage, you still tell a story. And I wanted to integrate that with being a correspondent, because then you have to tell the stories of the athletes, not even the athletes, the coaches, those in the team, and it's just been really great so far. So yeah, it's a learning process. I'm still learning a lot, even though I have background in public speaking because of theater.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, you also did taekwondo.
Yes,
and,
I did.
I think it's not just doing taekwondo. You ended up with a black belt, right?
Yes, I did. I got that
Be careful,
recently.
Pao.
Yeah, no, we're all careful. I mean, like, the fact that you made it out okay says that we're gonna be fine. Pero Gab, this whole journey, as we were all talking about kanina, it's going to be different, difficult. You don't get to really be with the team as much as you want to. Pero how excited are you in particular to take on this challenge? Kasi medyo pioneers kayo in the sense of with this whole program, with this whole system that we all have here.
Yeah, well, first of all, it's an honor, Billy. Thank you for
Oh my God!
being,
Oh my goodness! I didn't expect.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole process was so fun. Yeah, it's gonna be a big challenge, especially with, well, like you said, we're not called courtside reporters anymore because we're not gonna be reporting on the side of the court. But
Literally.
it's gonna be really fun to be able to adapt to all the changes, and yeah, it's really a privilege to be here, especially amidst the pandemic.
Martina, your initial thoughts naman we heard a bit about how communicating was with the team. Syempre, it's always going to be via Zoom. Everything is going to be a bit further. Pero, syempre, how have you been taking your tasks so far, especially knowing that just a couple of days away, you're actually going to start doing the work on the site?
Yeah, so I actually haven't had a Zoom call yet with anyone so far. Everything's been via phone call or just like messaging.
Yeah.
I actually did speak to some a while ago. Like, I've been getting along with them pretty well. Like, I would initially think that I would just, ask them 2 questions, maybe take less than 10 minutes for those 2 questions. But they end up being like 30 minutes. We actually get along really well. So I'm just so happy that I get along with, the team members.
Yeah, Lasallians are so friendly,
I know, right?
Yeah, Lasallians are so friendly.
Speaking as a Lasallian, parang no bias naman
No,
talaga.
no bias. Saka green ka lang.
Ikaw
Yeah, naka-blue. You have to balance that out.
Now, speaking of the blue side, how about you, Julia? How are you getting to know the team right now?
Actually, it's been great. I actually had a call with Coach Tab this morning. I was really nervous, but instantly I felt at home, and that's how the players have been making me feel too. I even talked to Coach Sandy and the team managers, and Coach Sandy even told me that they consider correspondents as part of the family already, and of course,
Clap talaga.
May clapping. Okay.
so yeah, that's how I've been feeling, and I'm so excited to get to know them even more and maybe meet them.
Yeah. But we hope for that to happen. Syempre, we all now know that the plans for the UAAP is that hopefully in the second round, they actually welcome fans and hopefully get you more access. Bel, communication student in Ateneo, and now I'm sure you've already had a bit of that experience working with the team, and then if I'm not mistaken, you've hosted a few events also for Ateneo and are really around the world of basketball. So how at home do you feel with yung mga duties mo?
Well, I really grew up on the sidelines of basketball because my dad used to be a PBA head coach, and I remember being carried around in games when I was little. I remember watching him on TV, watching the players, and really getting along with coaches, with players, with any team, even though the team is essentially his team. So going into this as a basketball correspondent, I really applied just the openness to people, communicating to them well, knowing their kilite.
Yeah.
Because syempre they're also superstars, and it gets kind of overwhelming, kind of intimidating to talk to them. But once you get their kilite, you get all these information, all these stories from them that you didn't know. Oh, I didn't know he did this. I didn't know that's how he saw his family, that's how his teammates mean to him. So it's really, really exciting coming into this as someone, not as a fan, not as someone behind the scenes as a as someone from the sports industry, but someone really working with them and being a team's storyteller.
Grabe, Billy.
Naiiyak ako.
Oh, it looks like you've
I'm
done
so
an okay
proud.
job so far. All
Proud of
right,
you
so
kids.
catch them starting this Saturday in the UAAP. We open season 84 after 2 long years of waiting.
Everybody is so
I'm
excited.
so excited. You have no idea. Ladies and gentlemen, again, thank you very much to Bel Gregorio for NU, Gab Reyes for UE, Julia Vargas for Ateneo, and Martina Lau for LaSalle. Now, after the break, we talk to Barangay Ginebra's LA Tenorio, fresh from their Game 1 victory over the NLEX Road Warriors in the PBA Governors Cup Semi. Stay tuned. You're watching the game. Governors Cup action resumes tomorrow as the top 4 teams of the conference continue their run in the semifinals. Joining us tonight is a big part of Barangay Ginebra's comeback win in Game 1 of his 4-time PBA Finals MVP, LA Tenorio. LA, congrats on the Game 1 victory. And alam mo, LA, it's funny last time you were here, we were actually talking about how worried you were about yung situation ng Ginebra. Siyempre, at that time, you were staring at a twice-to-beat disadvantage. Pero how much stronger does Ginebra feel right now yung confidence level nila knowing that you took Game 1 dito sa semifinals?
First and foremost, good evening, Pao. Good evening, Billy. Good evening to all the viewers. I think ngayon, the biggest thing that we have right now is really the momentum. Nadala namin I think the big factor was really the 2 games that we played against Talk and Text. We brought in during Game 1 yesterday, yung momentum na yun. Napakalaking importante talaga ng momentum going to the playoff games. Kasi imagine you cannot win the playoffs or the best of 5 series or any series if you don't win back-to-back games. So I think ang pinaka-importante talaga is talagang magdire-diretso yung momentum na to, and hopefully on tomorrow's game ganun pa rin yung game namin.
Absolutely, Kuya LA. Pero syempre, kailangan natin pag-usapan yung stat line ninyo ni Justin Brownlee. Now, let's start things off with JB. He had 27 points and 16 rebounds. At syempre, Ikaw naman, you had 19 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists. So ito yung bigatin natin na tanong. Medyo serious to baka hindi ka ready. Pero bumabata ba kayo ni Justin tuwing playoffs? Yun lang naman yung gusto namin malaman. Kasi grabe, sobrang impressive ng pinakita niyong dalawa.
Well, ano lang, siguro, katulad yan na sinabi ko sa interviews yesterday after the game, it's really, it's not more of the stat, no? I mean, the stat line is really incredible. If I take a look at it nga, parang, wow, grabe, nagagawa ko pa pala yun. But I think more than the stat line is really my presence inside the playing court, no? Kasi, as one of the vets sa team, syempre, na inaasahan din naman kahit papaano ni Coach Tim. It's not really about the points. No, kung siguro yung points and other stat line siguro sobrang bonus and malaking bagay for the team, but I think that yung presence ko sa loob ng court at saka yung leadership ko sa loob ng court once nakita kasi ng mga teammates ko, especially the young players, parang siyempre nabuboost yung moral nila at saka na-lift yung confidence level nila. Kasi I came from there also na galing ako sa yung bata ako, 'di ba? Pag maganda yung laro ng mga vets na nadadala ako. So parang ganun yung nangyayari sa amin ni Justin. We wanted, especially on the big games like this in the playoffs, 'di ba? Since kami maraming experience dito, so siguro naman it's about time for us to really step up our game and 'di ba, maging present kami every game, 'di ba? Doesn't matter kung marami kami na shoot or hindi, diba? But still, the presence that we have inside the playing court is the most important thing.
LA, can you talk about yung level of focus of the team, especially in that 15-0 run? Kasi grabe yung defensive, yung team defense nyo in particular, and of course, to get things humming on the offensive end.
I think yung in-game adjustment namin, after we called the timeout, nagkaroon kami ng konting adjustment, and then I think more than the adjustment is really the sense of urgency. No, we knew that NLEX will really come out strong, and they always come out strong every game that they play. They're very aggressive, so kailangan talaga namin ma-match yung energy na yun. Pero yung first few part of the game, medyo we started really flat, and yun nga, nagkaroon na down kami. But after that, we adjusted, and we took a deep breath, and then nagkaroon kami ng sense of urgency. Yun lang, kasi we cannot afford to be down more than 10 on this team pagdating ng first half or start of the second half.
Na Kuya LA, kanina napag-usapan mo nga na you need to be role models for the younger players of this team. Pag-usapan natin si Arvin Tolentino, who scored 8 out of his 11 points doon sa third quarter, and he really stepped up big time in that game. Now, gaano ka-importante yung mga step-up performances na ganon during the playoffs?
Malaking factor yun, no? Actually, it was really, parang nagkaroon ng opportunity actually if I mention si Boss Al Francis, nagkaroon ng special mention si Arvin during the halftime, no? Kasi alam namin na si Arvin is one of the kumbaga X factor sa team namin once na maglaro siya. Malaking bagay if Arvin really plays well, no? Nagkakaroon ng mahabang rotation yung team namin. It gives time for Japet, for Justin, or even Christian to have a little break, di ba? Pag maganda yung nilalaro niya. So malaking factor talaga si Arvin sa amin, especially now that everyone knows that Japet is gonna be out for tomorrow's games. I think it's really, next man up, di ba? Kung sino talaga yung makaka-fill in sa shoes ni Japet, and isa doon is si Arvin talaga. So malaking bagay yung ano niya, yung not really is offensive threat, no, but really is defensive and rebounding, no. So
well, LA, you mentioned it a while ago, syempre yung status ni Jap, you mentioned he was out. I also think the release was actually also a game time decision, so whether or not he'll actually play is going to be up for debate. Pero when you look at yung production ni Japet and syempre trying to make up for it with the likes of Arvin, how is the next man up mentality enforced sa Barangay Ginebra just to make sure na ready lahat just in case other numbers called up?
Well, katulad nga na sinabi ni Coach Tim kanina, it's not next man up, it's next man up. So it's not only one player. So everyone will really have to step up sa game namin, sa mga succeeding games namin, especially sa mga production ni Japet. Pag titingnan mo kasi yung production ni Japet, parang ang hirap, di ba?
Yeah.
Ang hirap i-fill in, di ba? But no, if you think about it, if 1 or 2 or 3 players will step up and everyone step up, napakalaking bagay for the team. And not only that, it will boost the confidence level of other players, the opportunity for us to, kung saswertein kami, if we go all the way, di ba, napakalaking bagay to have that long rotation ng players and the confidence level that they have, especially during the playoffs, di ba?
Na Kuya LA, just to wrap everything up, ano naman yung magiging game plan nyo for tomorrow's game against NLEX?
Secret.
Grabe
Oo,
naman.
malaman eh.
Ano lang, konti.
Joke lang. Pati lang. No,
Konti lang.
well,
Ganito lang ka, ano?
Oo, malaman eh. Baka marami nanonood sa atin. But no, seriously. No, we expect NLEX and I know, and we know Coach Yeng's team.
Yeah.
We always play against Coach Yeng's team even before pa. Talagang we expect very aggressive, very physical team, on tomorrow's game. I'm sure ilalabas nila yung A-game nila and they will adjust, especially their shooters, diba? Kung hindi sila masyado nagkaroon ng production, they will have a very, very, very aggressive game tomorrow. So yun yung expect namin going to tomorrow's game. So yun lang, and we have to match that energy. If not match that energy, talagang kailangan namin i-surpass, because kung ano yung nagawa namin in game 1, it's not gonna be good enough to beat NLEX in the second game. So yun.
Alam mo, LA, sasabihin ko sana na between the three of us, si Billy lang yung, she's the only one who doesn't know the game plan eh. But, you know what? Please don't go away because we're not done with you yet. After the break, we'll break down the current situation in the very tight NBA Western Conference playoff race. Stay tuned. You're watching The Game.
You're watching The Game. I'm Billy Capistrano. As we are always a fan of the NBA, be sure to not miss the action approaching the weekend. It's the top-seeded Phoenix Suns against Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets on Friday. Then the Utah Jazz will take on the Charlotte Hornets on Saturday. Tonight, we discuss the current situation in the Western Conference, where the race is getting tighter, approaching the playoffs. Still with us is NBA Philippines All-Star analyst, L.A. Tenorio. Hello again, Kuya L.A.
Hello. Hello again.
Ayan, wala nang sekreto dito.
Well, no more secret keeping here. Pero
first nailang ako kuya.
Sorry, medyo magalang ako sa L.A. L.A. na lang.
Okay, sige. So, we'll get started over here. We're gonna talk about yung mga interesting teams dito sa Western Conference because the race is getting tighter and tighter, LA. And ini-insist ng mga writers natin na pag-usapan daw natin yung Utah Jazz muna. And sabi ko, tambak yung Jazz kanina eh. So, let's not talk too much about them. But still, right now in the standings, tied sila with the Dallas Mavericks. LA, sa palagay mo ba magiging importante yung home court advantage in the upcoming playoffs?
Well, definitely napakalaking bagay ng home court advantage, no? Especially sa playoffs dito sa NBA. And but on the other side of the coin, I don't think hindi na ganun kalaking. Kumbaga parang 50-50 na because of the talent that all the teams have right now, no? I don't think the before talagang siguro mga 80%. If there's a home court advantage, alam mo na. But now, I think it's 50-50. 50-50 chance, no? Because of the talent and the balance of the team right now, especially in the West.
All right, let's talk about the Golden State Warriors naman. How much trouble are they in with Steph Curry's injury?
Well, they are in deep trouble right now, especially going to the playoffs. I like watching Golden State, by the way. I like number one, the system. They know the system very well, no? Even without Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green, who is I think for me is the X factor in this team. So I think they are really in big trouble right now. But good thing they won against Miami, maybe because of what happened a while ago with Miami's bench, medyo wild yun. So they took advantage of that, but before that win, they were in the 3-game losing streak. So medyo and with the other teams in the West playing really well, especially the Minnesota, Denver, and Dallas, and of course Utah.
We're playing bad, LA. Pero 2-game losing streak na kami. 2-game losing streak. Pero
2-game losing streak pa rin. But compared to Golden State, they're really they're gonna have a hard time, no?
That's
sa
true.
question ni Ate Billy, no? So
Grabe naman. Buti hindi tita.
Hindi tita.
Alright, moving on to the Denver Nuggets. How dangerous are the Nuggets, especially if Jamal Murray and MPJ come back?
Yan.
Well, they're gonna be. Well, we saw it during the bubble, no? When they played last time, no? When he played in the bubble, it was really dangerous with Jokic and Murray together, no? But we don't know because he came from an injury, he sat down very long, no?
Yeah.
So we don't know the factor that na pwede, diba? Dalawa lang yan. It's either he can make or break, no? Especially during the playoffs, because playoffs is it's a different game. You really have you have to be in top shape right away, no? Coming game 1 pa lang in the playoffs. So we never know. But they can figure it out for sure because they've been together for so long also. But the concern lang if Jamal Murray comes back, it's really how
is he the same Jamal Murray as before?
Yes, kung nasa top shape ba siya, in game shape or playoff shape, diba?
Yeah. LA, I want to wrap up with this question kasi syempre we are also want to talk about favorites and dark horses. So I'm gonna name the top 3 teams dito sa Western Conference. You tell me without explaining kung sa palagay mo title contenders ba sila or are we gonna relegate them as dark horses pa rin? The Phoenix Suns.
Of course, contender yan.
Okay, Memphis Grizzlies.
Dark Horse.
And the Golden State Warriors.
Contender.
Interesting, di ba? Kasi yung second place team natin, sila yung dark horse eh. Pero yung Golden State as the contender here according to LA Tenorio. LA, maraming salamat. Good luck for tomorrow. And of course, we can't wait to have you back here on the game.
Thank you, thank you. Hope to see you soon in person. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Billy Capistrano.
I'm Paul Del Rosario. This has been The Game.